Well, welcome to tonight's webinar, which is all about Digital Marketing 101. Which marketing channel should you focus on to help drive traffic to your online store? I decided to go with this topic because that's one question I get asked a lot when it comes to growing an e-commerce website. There's so many channels out there, and people want to somehow understand exactly where should they put their efforts in so that they constantly drive new traffic as well as return traffic from their current customers and obviously generate sales. So if it's the first time you're attending, these webinars are based on do more of what works. Unlike other webinars out there, I'm really the type of person where I like to learn something, and then from there, I execute. I take action upon what I've learned that day or that week, and then consistently persist with my efforts and be consistent so that I can really see some results. Because if you attend this webinar and you're not simply going to take action, there's no point. And there's one reason why I keep doing it every week. It's so that there's almost like a weekly check-in. You don't want to just attend for the heck of attending. You want to actually take action on certain things that we talk about. And that's why a lot of things that I share are best practices. They're based on my own experience as well. And these are things that I've seen work not only for myself and the businesses I see online, but as well as for many big retailers out there across the world, not specifically just in Canada or the US. So one thing about the webinar too is the fact that there is no sales pitch. There are no vendors. It's 100% educational. That's the great thing that people have been asking for. They don't want to only attend for about 30 minutes and then eventually there's about 45 to an hour sales pitch to get you to buy a course. It doesn't happen in this webinar. So some housekeeping for first-time attendees. The webinar recording will be available, as well as the slides. Usually it takes about 48 hours after the webinar. They'll be made available in the Academy. You can sign up for free, download the slides, watch the video at your own time. You can use the private chat window. You'll see a chat window in your webinar browser right now. That is private. No one else sees it except me. You can message me directly, ask questions and comments, feedback, anything of that nature. It just stays between you and I. And finally, Q&A towards the end is only available live. It will not be available in the recording. It's just some benefit for you. You put the time to attend, and I want to make sure that there's an incentive for you. And having the Q&A available only live will be that type of incentive where you get to ask me questions about what I just talked about, as well as any type of question related to e-commerce. And I will do my best in answering those questions. So today's agenda is pretty straightforward. 3 topics. The biggest mistake online retailers make when promoting their online store. I want to share that because it's something that I see happening a lot. We get overwhelmed, and there's a reason why. Number 2, the most important digital marketing channels for e-commerce. There are many channels right now, and store owners, digital marketers sometimes feel overwhelmed. Which ones are they, and where should you focus your efforts? And number 3, finally, how to track your digital marketing efforts. It's great. We're going to learn about new things, learn about how to take action, but then you need some tools. And I'm going to share with you some of my favorite tools that I personally use to help me manage and monitor performance overall when it comes to the online store. Towards the end, there is always an exclusive giveaway now. So if you stay towards the end and you ask a question during Q&A, you'll be entered in a draw to win access to the e-commerce toolbox, a tool that I've created for the Academy. And finally, Q&A is about 15 minutes. So quick intro, 60 seconds or less. My name is Alhassan. I'm the founder of the E-commerce Training Academy. I consider myself as one of the most passionate people when it comes to e-com. I've been in the industry for about 16 plus years now. I usually lead e-commerce and digital marketing for retailers. Most of my experience came at iNetVideo.com, where we sold movies and video games since 2001. Grew it from $1 million to $19.5 million a year. Made the Inc. 5000, Internet Retailer 500 as well. From there, moved on to Beyond the Rack, a flash deal site where I helped them expand the business onto Amazon, eBay, Rakuten, just become multi-channel. And currently, I am the director of digital marketing at LinInterest.com, Canada's top home retail destination, overseeing everything with regards to Google, Facebook, SEO, the website experience, everything really you can think of that has to do with the website itself, other than the technical parts. I've been at many events over the years. I speak at them. I also am part of many advisory boards of these events, and also I have advised over 100 plus brands and helping them grow their business. So I just want to give that quick intro so that you understand who I am and where this information I'm about to share with you is coming from, in case we never spoken before. So let's get started. Number one, the biggest mistake online retailers make when promoting their online store. Keep in mind, if you have any questions, you can write them down, put them in the chat box. I'll answer them towards the end. Don't lose track of those. So the biggest mistake online, what is it? And when it comes to trying to drive traffic from digital marketing channels, the biggest mistake, in my opinion, is not establishing a clear marketing objective. What do I mean by objective? So last webinar, we talked about the buying cycle. When a customer thinks about buying something, or even before they think about going to buy something, they go through different stages. So I want to kind of like go over this first so that you understand where does the marketing objective fall into. So number one, the customer would go awareness. I think I have a problem, I have a need, and I'm thinking about finding a solution. From there, I might find your product. I'm in the consideration stage. I might find your product, other retailers' products that can satisfy that need. And I start evaluating social proof, reviews, product specs, pricing, and everything else. From there, I go through a purchase where I decide who to buy from, and I decide who is it that I'm going to make that purchase from specifically, because they offer free shipping, returns, refunds, and everything else that comes with it. And finally, it ends with loyalty, where when I buy something from a retailer, if I love the experience, I'm going to come back to that retailer, and as well as could potentially become an ambassador and start telling all my friends about the amazing experience I've had with that retailer. This is a quick overview of the buying cycle. You can watch the last webinar. I go in details for each of these stages. Now, why do I say that the biggest mistake is not defining your true objective? Well, first of all, when you're about to promote your online store, you have to have a key objective in terms of what are you trying to achieve? Because every channel has a different purpose for your marketing efforts. You might want one day to drive traffic, where sometimes you want to raise awareness, sometimes you want clicks, sometimes you want page views, you want visits to the website, purchases, you want email addresses. Having a clear objective set in place will help you kind of like monitor your performance, but as well as try to see what exactly works for that specific campaign so that you can repeat it over and over again. Again, it's all about do more of what works. So for example, let's go some examples. So let's say, for example, one of your objectives is you want to get noticed. No one knows about your online store. So what do? Your objective is to increase awareness. And there are things that you need to do. We'll go over them. There are things you need to do if you want to increase awareness. If you want to get traffic, what you're looking for is you want to increase consideration. You want people to come to your store, not just see that, oh, great, company A.com sells, let's say, yoga pants. You want people to actually come into the store and consider what it is that you have to offer. What type of yoga pants, colors, the options, the material, the guarantee, satisfaction, everything else that comes with it. So if your goal, your objective is to get traffic, well, you need to focus on consideration. Number three, if you want to get sales, well, you got to focus on increasing purchases. So people consider your product, but then they have to buy it. And number four, if you want to keep customers, you want them to come back, become raving fans, become brand ambassadors, it's all about increasing loyalty. Now, these are the marketing objectives that usually retailers should be focused on so that it can help them really set up the right marketing campaigns, launch them on the right channels, and be able to track them so that they perform as expected. Now, when you have a clear marketing objective, that's when you start realizing that you need to track important performance metrics. For example, so now we know that you need awareness, you want to increase, consideration, purchase, loyalty. What is it that you need to track? So when you have an objective, so I want to increase awareness, I want people to know that I exist. What are some of the metrics you need to track so that you achieve that objective? For example, when it comes to awareness, you look at impressions, you look at reach, you look at views. For example, impressions is, well, I want to show my banner, or I want to show my ad 1 million times. I want to reach 500,000 people, but I want to show it to each person, let's say twice, 2 impressions per user. So again, you're seeing where you're not looking for clicks, You're not looking for people to actually engage, but you're making sure that the banner is visible in front of them. You can do this on Facebook, on Google, and so on. And then, for example, when it comes to video, you're looking for views. You want to put the video out there, a commercial, a 15-second commercial, a 30-second commercial. You just want to make sure that it reaches as many people as possible and they see the ad multiple times based on what you want them to, how many times you want them to see it. So that's an idea, an objective. I want to increase awareness. Well, if you want to do that, you got to keep track of impressions, reach, and views. Number 2, I want people to consider my product. I want them to buy my yoga pants, but before they can buy it, I want them to consider that I have the best yoga pants. I want them to buy these ones that I have here, but I need them now, not only to see my ad from an impression or reach campaign. I want them to come to the website. I want them to click on the campaign. I want them to engage with the ad itself, view the video, click on some of the links, browse, like, comment, share, and obviously come on to the website so that they start looking at it and see, well, is this product the right for me? From there, it could even lead to them putting in their email address in exchange for a coupon or a buying guide. Again, it becomes a little bit warmer, this lead. You're not just showing your ad to people and that's it. You're actually showing it and you're trying to get them to the website so they consider your product. So that's one of the objectives that you might have. Consideration, well, track clicks, visits, likes, leads, and everything else that comes with it. Number 3, we go into the purchase. That's when people are ready to make the purchase, they're figuring out who to buy from, but that's where you as a retailer, your objective could be with a specific campaign. Well, this campaign is not about impressions. I don't care about clicks. I want people to buy from me. I want them to add to cart. That's what I want to focus on. That's what I want to optimize on because that's my objective. So when it comes to that purchase stage, it becomes a little bit more serious. That's where you want to have people to actually take a little bit more action, engage more with your website. Add to cart as an example. Make a purchase order. Purchase an item directly from your store. As well as if you have stores, physical stores, make a visit to your store and purchase that item. So these are a little bit down below the funnel. Now, the last thing is loyalty. What is it? That my objective is to increase loyalty of my brand. How do you do it? Well, I want people to come back. I want to put up ads to current customers, retargeting, for example. I want people to increase their order frequency. They usually buy from me once. I want them to buy again over the next 6 months, over the next 3 months. So you're increasing loyalty. And finally, I want them to refer me other friends and family or anyone out there that could be potentially interested in the product because they love it. So loyalty becomes an objective, and these are some of the metrics that you would kind of like oversee or monitor to help you achieve that objective. Does that make sense? I mean, if you guys can type in quickly yes or no, if it makes sense overall, or if there's something kind of like you want me to go over, that would be really helpful because I feel that this is the first time I'm actually going really deep into a topic. And that's going to be kind of like, great, thank you. Great, makes sense. Again, it's not easy in the beginning, but it's very important so that you guys really understand that if you want to ensure that your digital marketing efforts produce the right results, that objective is key. Because sometimes when I speak to people, they tell me, well, my marketing is not working. Great, what's happening? No one is clicking, nobody's purchasing. Well, what is the objective there? Are you trying to achieve, you want traffic? Are you trying to get sales? Are you trying to get engagement? Are you trying to have reach? Because sometimes we want everything. I want to put my ad in front of every single person. I want them to click on it. I want them to like it. I want them to comment. I want them to come to the website. I want them to purchase the item. How come it's not working? Well, you got to really be realistic first. Focus on one specific objective so that the ad gets optimized for that objective. So that's kind of like a quick overview of what it is. So when you have that clear objective, that's when you're going to be able to track everything to help you achieve that objective. Because again, without that goal, without that objective in place, what is it that you're going to track? Because in the end, if you're not tracking performance, there's no way for you to improve on what worked. So again, that's why I feel that not having that key objective before launching a campaign is one of the biggest mistakes that retailers make. Number 2. So now, this is where it becomes interesting. What are some of the most important marketing channels for e-commerce retailers specifically? Now, when you speak to people, they might have different ones. I separate them into 8 specific digital marketing channels. You can have 10, you can have 12. Every business is different, but I usually group them in 8. That's a minimum. From there, you can expand into a little bit more, depending on what is it that you're doing online. You might be more. Every business is different. Let's just put it that way. So let's start with the 8 digital channels that I feel every retailer should focus on. Number 1, it's all about organic traffic that comes directly from Google. I'm going to go through them quickly, and we're going to dive deeper in each one right after this. So number 1 is organic search engine traffic that you don't pay for, the free stuff. Number 2 is email traffic. Number 3 is paid search, PPC campaigns. That's the paid traffic that you pay for on search engines. Number 4 is all about content marketing, blog, for example. Number 5, social media, both organic, the free stuff, and the paid version of it. When I talk about social media, there are many networks in there, and we're going to go over them. Number 6, it's all about affiliates, other people sending you traffic and you paying them a commission. Number 7, it's really referrals. Anything else, paid as well as free. A blogger mentions you because they feel like mentioning you and they're not getting anything for it. That's a referral. And finally, which is not really a marketing channel, but I'll explain what it is. It's a great way you have to track it because there's some offline campaigns that will impact direct. For example, you have a radio campaign, you have a TV campaign, newspaper ad, direct traffic will increase. So direct traffic is anybody who comes directly to your website, not from any of the marketing channels. They just type it in and they come in by their browser, for example. So these are the 8 digital channels. Let's go through each one quickly. Number 1 is all about organic. What is organic? Again, it's traffic that comes in from search engines. For example, engines like Google.com, that's number 1. Bing.com. When I say Google.com, it could be if you're in Australia, for example, it is a different extension. So I'm just generalizing it by saying Google.com, but you can have Google.ca, Google.co.uk, and so on. So Google.com is number 1, followed by Bing.com, Yahoo, and DuckDuckGo.com. You're going to start seeing a little bit more of DuckDuckGo. It is a search engine that simply does not track anything. If you feel that you don't want Google to track what is it that you're searching and putting all these cookies and everything else, DuckDuckGo is very anonymous. People like it. And it's very generic. So when it comes to organic traffic, that's something that some retailers ignore, only focus on it later on in their lifetime. Not everyone, obviously. Now, the one thing about organic, what's interesting is if you do it right, you will benefit from it over the years. Because as soon as you optimize a specific page, it might take you time in the beginning, setting it up, creating content for it, optimizing it, making sure that everything matches what Google or what Bing want in terms of best practices when it comes to search engine optimization. And then over time, you'll start seeing this page that you've optimized rank higher and higher. And eventually, it will rank in the top 10, top 5, the top 3, if not the number 1 position in search engines. And that's where you get to enjoy free traffic, as long as your website matches the algorithm on these search engines. So the one thing that I notice is when a retailer starts, they want immediate results. So that's why we spend more money on Facebook, Instagram, paid ads, or Google ads, because we put an ad, we can instantly get some traffic within the hour. Whereas when it comes to organic, it takes longer. But believe me when I say this, it is one of the best returns that you will get from your online efforts if you do it right from the beginning and you actually create a system internally. For example, whenever you create a product, have a guide in place where it tells everyone on your team or yourself how should you optimize a product page. For example, the title of the page should be the following. How many characters? A description, how many characters? Make sure that you have the right images. Make sure that you add enough description for all of your products. Optimizing every single page and make it a habit from the beginning will produce the results you're looking for. But what I see sometimes is people simply open up their store, they put up all these products, and don't even bother optimizing any of these pages for search engines. And then they spend so much money trying to drive traffic, and they say, well, how can I cut my costs? Cut your costs by focusing on the free channel. Free in a sense that you're not paying for the traffic, but you need to put in the time, pay someone or do it yourself in learning how to optimize each page on your website. the results will fascinate you. And even that, you will start over the years improving your overall search rankings if you do it right from day one. So organic traffic, someone would ask me all the time is, well, how much should organic traffic be as part of my overall strategy in terms of sales? How much should it produce? I've seen numbers range between 15 to 30% of your revenue could be coming in from organic initiatives. So that's the range. I would tell you 25% is a very healthy range. 25% of your sales would become coming in from organic. People searching for your name or people searching for search terms that your store is optimized for. So if you have for example, a Shopify store, it's pretty easy. Every page that you create, every collection, every product, there is a section all the way in the bottom. It's all about SEO and how to optimize it. They simplify it. It's just figuring out which words you should be targeting. And from there, you'll see the results. Results take between 3 to 6 months. But as soon as you start seeing results, you would want to continue doing this for the rest of the life of the business, because it's free traffic. Who doesn't want free traffic? And it's not just free traffic that's not valuable. That's really specific free traffic that is targeting a specific keyword. You're not just sending anyone looking for just yoga, but you might be ranking for yoga pants or red yoga pants. In the end, you're actually driving qualified traffic to your site from search engines for free. So that's number one. Number two, email. Email is key. When people ask me, well, how much should email generate in terms of sales? Again, it depends for all retailers. I always see about 20 to 25% of your sales coming in from email. Now, email is any traffic that comes in from all sorts of email campaigns, and we'll go through them. For example, promotional campaigns, email campaigns that you would send on a daily basis, weekly, multiple times a week, bi-weekly, monthly, and so on. These campaigns could be focused around a promotion that you have on the website, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, a site-wide sale. It could be free shipping. It could be a sale on a specific category of products, and so on. So promotional emails do drive a significant amount. How much? Again, based on what I've seen, and this is like different for every retailer, it could reach almost 70%. So up to 70%, if you do it, if that's the only thing you do, it could be 100%. But I've seen it where 70, 75, 80% of your email sales come from promotional campaigns. The rest, the 20, 25, 30%, come from triggered emails. For example, anyone coming into your website, adding an item to the cart and abandoning. That's a triggered email based on a behavior. Anyone who joins your newsletter for the first time because they want to get a coupon, they get a welcome email. That's a triggered email. Anyone who browses a product and they leave, well, they get a triggered email saying, oh, you looked at this item. Guess what? We have this item, also this item, and that item that you might be interested in. Anyone who buys a product, and let's say, for example, you want them to purchase again, you might send them an automated email 30 days, 60 days after telling them, well, do you want to leave us a review? And here's a coupon for a future purchase. That's another type of triggered email, and the list goes on. So triggered emails can create, again, 20 to 30% of your overall email revenue. And the best part is they're automated. If you're using the right tools, for example, MailChimp has something they're improving. If you're using, for example, Klaviyo, this tool does help you create different types of campaigns that are triggered based on people's behavior on the website. And finally, transactional emails. Huge gold mine for retailers. Every time someone creates an account, they get an email. Welcome, this is your email. You can introduce them. There's some introduction to the brand. From there, you can send them an email as soon as they purchase something. Here's your order invoice. Here's what you bought. By the way, they're on your website. Their wallets are still open. You might also think about buying these other items, so you can recommend. Those transactional emails, including, for example, your order has been shipped, or can you leave us a review for your product 14 days after or 30 days after. All of these transactional emails can indeed produce additional sales for you and can serve as part of your digital marketing strategy when it comes to email campaigns. So when it comes to email, depending on which depending on which category you're in, you can see between 15 to 25, sometimes 30% of your revenue come from that specific channel. It's big. Unfortunately, what happens with retailers is it's a lot of work. Preparing a campaign is not easy, especially if you're doing one. Like, for example, we send a lot of emails, And it's a lot of work. You need a big team. You need a creative team. You need copywriting. You need the right software. And you always constantly have to have new subscribers coming in. And you don't want to overdo it, especially if you sell one type of product. When you have a lot of products, different product categories, it becomes easier for you to create different emails because there's something to share. Otherwise, you have to find that sweet spot, how many emails you should be sending. And it's different for every single type of business. Number 3, Ivy, I saw your question. I'll get back to it afterwards, but I see that here. Thank you. Number 3, paid search. So paid search is my other favorite way of driving traffic to the website, especially if you want it to convert, and I'll explain why. Traffic from PPC campaigns, pay-per-click campaigns, is traffic that you actually pay for when people click on your ads on Google, Bing, or Yahoo. And you only pay based on what you bid, or it's an auction-based system. So, for example, Google AdWords is a perfect channel for you to get started. It has a lot of potential because you can actually target people that are searching for specific terms in specific areas during specific times of the day, depending on which device they're on. You have a lot of flexibility when it comes to that. And I love AdWords to enable you to drive immediate traffic to your website. But something better than AdWords is Google Shopping. Google Shopping is a different type of campaigns ad set, let's say, a different type of campaign setup that you have inside of Google AdWords. And the way it works, you'll see here the image that I have on the side. You see some product images, product pricing. You have the name of the retailer. Sometimes you have a price drop. So this here on top, on that image, anything with the product image, that's a Google Shopping ad. The one under it, it's a text-based ad. This is Google AdWords, the traditional campaigns. So for example, the way Google lets you do it, what they let you do is you can submit your product feed, a list of your whole catalog, to Google. And then from there, you tell Google, here's what I'm willing to bid on my items. And then Google will decide what keywords to show your product for. The only thing you could do is you can tell what keywords you don't want to show up for. For example, let's say in this case right now, bomber jackets is the search term. Well, if somebody's searching red bomber jackets, you might want to not show up. You can add that as a negative. You want to exclude that. But going back to this here, when somebody searches bomber jackets, Google will decide what products to show up, what products match this criteria, and who is paying enough for them to show up. So you might be competing against other retailers. What's amazing about this is Google Shopping campaigns are targeting people when they are either in the consideration or the purchase phase. That's when they're really a little bit lower in the funnel. It's not like it's winter, I need to buy a jacket or I need to buy something. Whereas I know what I want. I want a bomber jacket and I'm looking for a place to buy this. So it's a little bit lower in the funnel. So you're either in the consideration or you're ready to buy one and you're simply looking for the best deal. And that's why you tend to see when it comes to shopping campaigns, the range, it becomes between 2, 3, 4, up to 5, sometimes 8 return on investment. So if you spend $1, you might get up to $5 in return when it's based on Google Shopping campaigns. It takes a lot of time to optimize your feed, but this channel truly produces amazing results for retailers specifically. Now, the mistake that retailers make when it comes to Google Shopping feed, they just submit again the whole catalog and they send it off to Google. Don't just simply do that. Make sure that you send it off and evaluate every single item. Make sure that there are no warnings, there are no errors, and that it's optimized really well for Google. And submit as much information as you can about each product. Color, size, condition, availability, shipping, tax information, the description, all the fields, the sizes, and whatever information you have, submit it. The more you submit, the smarter, the highly likelihood your product will show up for relevant terms. And if people like the product, Google will like you too, because Google is all about showing relevant products, relevant search results for users. So Google AdWords and Google Shopping, if you were to, which one would you do? I would start Google Shopping right away. And then what I get in terms of results, so let's say here's the trick. When I start a Google Shopping campaign and I see that I'm getting a lot of searches for bomber jackets, what I would do, and if I see great results, I would then create a regular ad in Google AdWords, a traditional ad, and I will have it like here right now, here, riverisland.com. I would do this so that this way, there's another chance for someone to click on. They might not see the right product, the right image, but then they'll see my other ad, which is a regular Google AdWords campaign. So that's the trick I would use. Learn from Google Shopping, whatever is converting, use that knowledge and create your other Google AdWords campaigns, because it could be costly. You don't want to start spending money all over the place. Another channel that you might want to consider is Bing Ads. Some people ignore this fully, but yet Bing Ads does offer a great opportunity, as well as Bing Product Ads, which is similar to Google Shopping. Yes, the volume is not the same, but the competition is not there. So you might pay a lot less per click, a lot less when it comes to, let's say, the competition with other retailers. Yes, there are less users using Bing, but there are people using Bing because it's a default browser for Internet Explorer, and some companies are using it. I think Facebook search engine is powered by Bing because Microsoft has a stake in Facebook already. There is something that happens there. So you don't want to ignore Bing Ads, and you don't want to ignore Bing Product Ads, but don't expect them to perform in terms of volume similar to what Google Shopping or Google Ads do. But the opportunity is there. So that's paid search. Number 4, this part I love, content marketing. What is it? It's traffic from creative content. What type of content? Blog posts. I'll just go over them quickly and I'll talk about it a little bit more. Anything with regards to videos, buying guides as well. So content marketing, think of it this way. It's, to simplify it, it's your blog. It's another area of the website. It could be on a separate domain. It could be on a subdomain, but you're actually creating content that helps users. Either it's helpful, educational, or it's entertaining. These are two things. Value, it offers value, or it offers entertainment. And usually retailers, what they would do is, and it's, I wish all retailers would do this, but it's a lot of work. They would create, let's say, their online store, and they would have another section of the site, the blog, again, on different platforms, different domains, same domain is the best. And that's where they would start creating content that helps people use their product, that helps people target people when they are in the awareness. So in the awareness stage. For example, let me just kind of like use some examples. I'm a company, let's say, and I sell juicers, okay? I sell juicers for people that want to make, let's say, juicing, whether vegetables, fruits, whatever it is. Now, when I create my content, let's say, I want to target people who want to get healthy. So on my blog, I'm not just going to write about the top 10 juicers. No, I'll go a little bit higher. Again, the awareness stage. People might not know they have a need for a juicer. So when do they want to buy a juicer? Well, anyone who's going to be, let's say, for example, looking for ways of losing weight, being a little bit healthier, they might be deficient from vitamins, and they might go to Google, Bing, and type in there, well, how can I get healthier? What should I do if I want to be in shape? And some of the results might be go to the gym, go, let's say, for example, let's drink more water, sleep more, and one of them could be juicing. People will discover your content at that stage where you tell them, here's how you become healthier. These are the 10 ways. And one of the ways is all about juicing. That benefits you because you sell juicers. And then from there, you create content, for example, about the top 5 juicers. What to look for in a juicer. That's a buying guide. It could be a video, it could be a piece of content, it could be a downloadable buying guide. Anything creative with images, video, text is part of your content marketing strategy. In other words, HubSpot is one of the biggest companies that really, they have one of the best softwares when it comes to content marketing. They call this inbound marketing. You create content with hopes of driving inbound traffic to your website. And the idea is that content is valuable. It provides information to the customers to help them decide what they want to do, as well as entertaining. Sometimes you just want to put out a video of you juicing and making a blooper video, whatever it might be. But the idea is a content marketing strategy is a little bit different from your social media. You might create content for your blog. You might create content for your YouTube channel. You might create content on your website, and then you share it on social media. That's different. What I'm saying is all about a content marketing strategy of how can you get people to discover you? How do they discover you? A bunch of ways. When you start creating content, search engines are going to pick you up. People who find your content, they're going to start sharing it on social media. When you start sharing it on Facebook, that's when they come in. If, let's say you put it on Facebook page or you put an ad for it, they'll come to your blog, read the blog post, consume that piece of content, and eventually come to your online store. Content marketing can drive significant amount of traffic. Again, you're targeting people that are not searching for a product on Google yet. They're not searching for a specific item in your store. They've never found your store before, and they would go on search engines first or discover you through friends or their social media network. But it offers a great opportunity. How much of your traffic or your sales could potentially come from content marketing? This here it varies. It could be 5%, 1%, 2%, 5%, 10%, or it could be up to 80% depending on how extensive is your investment into that channel. But what I love about content marketing, you write it, it stays with you. You own that piece of content. Not YouTube, not social media, not anyone else. It's your content. You keep it on your site, whether it's in your store, in your blog, and you control it. And the beauty about this is it's assets. The more you create, the more chances that people will find you on these different networks. So that's content marketing. Number 5 is social media. Traffic from popular social networks. For example, you got Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter. I forgot to add Snapchat. It is number 5, even before Twitter, up with Snapchat. But these are the 5 channels I would focus on. So the one thing that people right now are struggling with, and I'm sure that it's not just you or it's everyone out there, the algorithms are changing. Facebook now owns Instagram. Pinterest has changed the algorithm. Facebook has changed the algorithm. Instagram, they want you to pay to play. And it's normal. And this was going to happen. It's going to happen. And I mean, that's why I always say, never build a home. I heard about it somewhere, read about it. Never build a home on a rented lot. You wouldn't do that. You don't build a home on someone's lot. If you own the lot, that's when you build it. And the same goes with Facebook and Instagram and all these different channels. You can't build your business on those channels because they could change. Google changed the algorithm, and those who were relying a lot on organic traffic, they got screwed. Then you look at social media. As soon as Facebook changed the algorithm, they really got impacted by this, and now they want you to pay. So when it comes to Facebook, when it comes to social media, it's 2 sets of strategies. You have the organic, the free strategy, and you have the paid strategy. You can't have one or the other. You need both, because at the end, one boosts the other. For example, you might be posting on a daily basis, let's say 3 times to your Facebook account, Instagram account. Out of those 3 these posts, what I would do is I would pay to advertise one of the ones that got the most engagement. So let's say I post one in the morning, I post one in the afternoon, and one in the evening. Among all these 3 posts on each of these social networks, I saw that the one that I posted in the afternoon got a lot of traction. 24 hours later, what I would do is I would put a budget on that specific post and try to target my audiences based on what I have in my settings. So that's a strategy. There are lots of strategies. I can talk about this for days, if not weeks, but you get the idea. What's important for me right now is if you're trying to make it happen in terms of driving traffic to your store and sales by not paying for any traffic, it's very hard right now, because these companies, these social networks want you to pay. The same goes for Pinterest. Pin your item, pin some content from your blog, your videos, whatever it is. But when you're done pinning, promote those pins. Target people who are searching specific keywords. Target people in specific areas. Target genders. Target demographics, and so on. Don't ignore the paid side. Even if you have limited budget, start spending $2, $3 a day on one specific post and have one objective. I want to increase, forget likes and everything else, focus on engagement. Then focus a little bit deeper on, well, I want them, if you're not getting any likes, you're not getting any engagement on the ad, well, optimize. That objective should be the main thing. I want people to consider my ad. So I want them to engage with it. That should be the objective at first. And then from there, go deeper. I want people to actually click on the ads and come to the website. So you might optimize for traffic. And then I might optimize for add to carts. And then I might optimize for orders and so on. Don't just go on these channels, create a campaign, and optimize for sales if you've never really spent a lot of money on Facebook or Instagram or anywhere, any of these channels. It's not that easy any longer. A couple of reasons. Everyone is jumping on this right now. The algorithm is changing. The costs are high, especially during the holiday period. So you really have to sit down and evaluate your strategy. So have an organic, a free strategy that you use to promote your content marketing, And the second one is a paid strategy that you could use to help promote what is engaging currently with all of your customers. So that's when it comes to social media. I got to go faster a little bit. So affiliates is number 6. Affiliates can produce 10 to 15% of your revenue. 10%. Oh, if you want to go back to social media, again, how much of it should be part of how much sales should be coming in from social media? It depends, because now some companies were born on social media. So yeah, it might be 80%. But I've seen numbers between 1% to 10%. That's a healthy thing I've seen. Obviously, sometimes people make this mistake. I read this somewhere. Google, and I love this, take note of this. Google helps customers find your business. Facebook helps your business find customers for it. So really, when somebody is looking for a product, a specific item, they'll go to Google and search for it, or Amazon, let's say. But those who go to Google, they'll search for it and your ad will show. But on the other side, when it comes to social media, you as a business, you're looking for those customers, not necessarily when they're ready to buy, but when they might consider buying from you. So that's why sometimes the return is not there immediately, because, well, I wasn't thinking about buying yoga pants. Well, I was on social media that night. But you know what? I saw your ad. Well, I have yoga class in a week from now. So I got you top of mind. I might see your ad again next day. Oh, you know what? Let me click. Let me see what's happening. I might not buy yet, but then I might buy 7 days from now, or by next session of my yoga session, I'll buy your product. And that's why sometimes the results on Facebook are a little bit different. That's why I say focus on Google a lot, because that's where people are actually have a higher intent to purchase a product. So when it comes to affiliates, we're talking about 10 to 15%. 10% is a healthy number. 10% of your sales could be coming in from affiliates. What do I mean by affiliate partners? Affiliate partners is anyone you will pay a commission to when the traffic they send to your website actually converts. So let's say, for example, you're a blogger, you're part of my affiliate network, and I will give you 15% of every sale you generate. You write about me a lot. You create content about me, about the website. And from there, you link back to my website with your affiliate link. Anytime your audience comes to my website, if they purchase within the next 30 days, 15 days, you get to control that. But 30 days is like a standard. So if they purchase within the 30 days of them coming in from your website, I'll give you a percentage of the sale. And I decide what the percentage is. I can pay you a percentage based on new users, new customers, return customers, and so on. So that affiliate channel truly helps. You'll notice that a lot of affiliate partners are coupon sites. It could be cashback sites as well, Ebates, for example. It could be bloggers. It could be really deal sites overall. So what are some of the networks you should consider joining? Some of them are very expensive, by the way, so I'm putting a bunch. You have Commission Junction, CJ.com is a network. ShareASale.com is a great place to start. It's affordable for everyone. And Rakuten Linkshare. These are my top 3. I usually recommend those. There are many other ones out there. There might be ones that are specific for your vertical, but these are the ones I would recommend. Now, I don't recommend that you do it on your own. It's a lot of work, and especially if you're serious about building your affiliate channel, you need a network that's already established, that has hundreds of thousands of affiliates already ready to promote your product. You don't want to start looking for partners, but you could do that as well. There are some software companies that can offer you the software, but these companies here, these networks, CJ, ShareASale, Rakuten, they offer also the technology. Not only do they have affiliates ready to promote you, they will apply for you that opportunity, but they also give you the software to help you track performance, track payments, and really understand how much you're paying in fees to every single affiliate. So that's when it comes to affiliates. It's pretty simple. In terms of referrals, it's really everywhere else. Traffic that comes from bloggers, it could be from other websites that mention you, it could be from people mentioning you on their apps, their news sites. It's really either paid or organic. For example, anyone who types in something from their browser, it comes in from emails, from the internet. Overall, I think I made a mistake. Let me just, yeah. This is a mistake here in the examples. It's any traffic that's, like, for example, you have an ad campaign running in a newspaper, digital newspaper, and that's considered a referral. It's not an affiliate. It's not a search engine. It's really everything else. Referrals are either free or organic. So a lot of times you might have, you sell a specific product, let's say yoga pants again, and you might promote your product on a mommy blog. And you have a deal with that mommy blog. You'll pay, let's say, $200 a month for the next 3 months. And you want to track that on your Google Analytics, on your website traffic. So that website of hers, that mommy blogger, when she starts sending you traffic, it might show up under the referral category. So it's really everything else. Number 8, the final one. This here is the last piece. Now, why is direct traffic important? Direct traffic is anyone who goes in, let's say, into your browser, types in yourcompany.com. Or they're in an app and they click on a link and they jump from the app to the browser. Sometimes the link is broken and then your Google Analytics might think that this is a direct traffic. It could be anyone, for example, in your signature. If you're not tracking it, you might put a link to your store. If people click that link, leave their email app and they come to your website, that might be considered again as direct. But most of the direct traffic either comes from people typing in their URLs, people having saved their bookmarks and they click on it, or again, it's apps and emails. So why is direct very important? Here's an example. I'm going to go yoga. I don't know why. I don't even do yoga, but I'm just picking on that topic, yoga pants. Let's say, for example, I sell yoga pants and yoga equipment in general. And I decided to join a meetup group of yoga instructors, about 100 of them, where they meet on a monthly basis in the city where I live. And I go to that event. And when I was speaking there at the event, because I'm a specialist, let's say, in yoga, and I have experience, and not only do I have experience, I sell products, I was speaking to people. But while I was speaking, people started going to the website directly. People started searching the brand on Google. People started searching, let's say, telling others, friends on social media, let's say, or whatever it is. Some of that traffic could become direct traffic in your Google Analytics. It's not going to come through search engines, let's say. It's not going to come through email. It's not social media. It might people just coming into your website directly. The same goes with, let's say, TV ads or radio ads. I'm listening to the radio, I'm watching a TV show, and I see an ad for a company. Well, I'm going to type in the name of the company and go directly to their website. How are they going to track that? Direct traffic sometimes has a direct correlation with your offline efforts, your traditional marketing, TV, newspaper ads, radio ads, or offline events. So that when you see, for example, your direct traffic suddenly increasing, maybe someone mentioned you at a conference and people in the audience were typing in your username. Some of them might come directly from Google. So sometimes you might notice that organic traffic and direct traffic could potentially increase whenever there's an offline initiative happening at the same time. So, for example, yogapants.com is my website. I'm at a conference, I'm speaking about my business, and there's 1,000 people in the audience listening to me. Some people might type in yogapants.com, go to the website directly, direct traffic increases. Some of them might go to Google and type in yoga pants. They forgot to put in the .com. First results comes in because I optimized my website. They click on it, my organic traffic goes up. You'll see a direct relationship. So that's why direct traffic is important, because sometimes we ignore it, but it's key for offline initiatives. So how much of it should be yourself? I've seen a lot of numbers, but on average, a healthy number is 10% of sales, 10 to 15% of sales would come direct. Direct could also be your current customer base. 10 to 15% of your sales will be allocated to direct traffic. So that's what I've seen. Again, it could be different for every business, but that gives you a ballpark. Which brings me now to number 3. I see some other comments, and I'll get back to them quickly right after this so that I'm just a little bit late. I want to stay within the 45 minutes. So number 3, so how do you track all these things? I'm going to share with you 5 tools to help you track your efforts, and these tools I use every single day religiously. Number 1, pretty simple, Google Analytics. Google Analytics is free. There are the 360 version, there are additional versions that you can buy, but Google Analytics, the free version, is more than enough. The one advice I have for you, have it done, integrated properly. The last thing you want is you integrate Google Analytics and next thing you realize it's not tracking properly. And then you were basing your decisions based on what Google is reporting. So if you have any doubts about it not reporting accurate numbers, make sure you hire the right people to help you ensure that they do a Google Health Check. That's what they do. So you can Google it, Google Health Check, Google Analytics Health Check, and find someone who's specialized, a Google certified person, a company that can help you ensure that it's properly installed. Now, a lot of tools, a lot of shopping carts, Shopify, BigCommerce, Magento, they all come with additional apps or extensions to help you integrate. But if you want to take your Google Analytics to the next level, you want to start tracking advanced stuff, events, and so on, you'll need some help. Make sure you invest in that because it's a life changer if it works properly, because you'll get a lot of data that in the end you can turn into valuable information and insights that you can act on. That's number one tool I recommend. The second tool I recommend is Bitly. It's a simple way of tracking clicks on links on social media primarily, or let's say in emails, especially when the links are very long. So for example, when it comes to your content marketing strategy, you don't want to start sharing, let's say, long links, yoga.com / how to find the right yoga pants for you during summer. It's a pretty long link. So with Bitly, it shortens it, and also you're able to track it. So there's a free version of it, very easy to use. I love it. It gives you immediate insights on what links are working. Even though social media is improving in terms of tracking, that tool is still useful for you. The other tool that I recommend, this is when it comes to SEO, Google Webmaster. Again, it's free. Just make sure that your website is properly configured on Google Webmaster. If you have Shopify, Magento, or you have BigCommerce as a shopping platform, any of these platforms, there's an easy way of integrating with them. There's a lot of documentation exactly even on Webmaster or these shopping carts. What this tool is going to allow you is ensure that you are indexed properly on Google. Google likes your website. If there are some warnings, they'll let you know errors. They'll let you know if your site is flagged. They'll also show you traffic that comes in directly from Google search engines and which keywords, up to 1,000 keywords. You can see which keywords are driving traffic to your site and which landing page, as well as a quick overview of where you rank for those keywords. It's simple, easy to use, but again, you're limited to 1,000 keywords. And I think the period is 90 days or 120 days max. You can't go back further than that, but it's more than enough. But make sure you use that. That's a key tool that I use for any of my SEO efforts. Now, a paid tool that I use for SEO is called Moz.com. I use this tool to help me kind of like track my SEO efforts, but also help me optimize my web pages, help me optimize my overall content. It helps me also monitor who's linking to my website. If I'm trying to build links, if I'm trying to have people link back to me, this tool helps me track everything. Don't quote me, but I think it's $100 a month US for 5 sites. But it's worth every dollar. The stuff that you learn there, not only the tool is powerful, but it also has so many features, so many ways for you to optimize your website, but they also have a lot of knowledge about SEO. I mean, it's one of the oldest companies I know of. Rand is the CEO, Wizard of Moz, they call him. They've been in the industry for a very long time, great authority when it comes to SEO, and I highly, highly recommend that tool. Finally, the AdWords. If you're trying to increase your reach, performance, sales on Google, on search engines, if you haven't started yet, start with Google AdWords immediately. You can create your shopping campaigns, create all of your campaigns that are related, let's say, to your traditional AdWords campaigns. This tool for me, I'm in there all the time because it drives a lot of traffic and quality traffic if done right. And finally, Facebook ads. If you're starting online, make sure you create a business account. Make sure that you don't simply boost posts. Go into the business side of the platform. It's very, very powerful. The things that these guys are doing is simply phenomenal. I mean, Google and Facebook, both of them are simply going at it right now. And we're benefiting from this as retailers, as businesses, because the targeting, the level of sophistication that these tools are truly becoming into is simply phenomenal. You could target so many different types of customers with minimal budget, and you can really see immediate results. Unlike back in the day, show banner ads here and there. These tools right now, Facebook ads for me is one of my favorite platforms currently. And there's another one. This here is a very technical. So I'll explain it quickly. So it's a Google URL builder. It's very, very important, by the way. I use this for every single campaign that I launch online. What I do is, for example, let's say here, I'm trying to promote my e-commerce training academy.com. Instead of sending people directly to my website with that link, I would use Google URL Builder, and I would add additional parameters in the URL so that Google Analytics understands which campaign is driving this traffic, and I can better track my efforts. So, for example, I have a webinar happening, and I want to promote it on Facebook, and it's a social media. Notice how here, the before URL is simply ecommercetrainingacademy.com, but when I use Google URL Builder, I start adding some additional, variables. So the source will be Facebook, the medium is a social network, and the campaign is my webinar, December 2017. That's the campaign. Again, that helps me achieve my objective. If I'm trying to get traffic to my website, well, I will use Google URL Builder to tag my URL the right way so that I track it in Google Analytics. And then I see I spent $100 to drive traffic to the website for that webinar. Did I get, how many clicks did I get? And I can see that in Google Analytics directly because it will show me social media drove 50 clicks. Oh, which one? I click on it, I see Facebook because I wrote that in there. Facebook sent you 50 clicks. Which campaign? The webinar, December 2017. When you start using Google URL Builder, you don't overwhelm yourself with all this traffic that's coming into your website, but you're actually categorizing it based on how you want it to look like in Google Analytics. A little bit technical, spend some time on this. Again, these tools are key if you want to do digital marketing the right way. There are more tools available. I have created a list of tools, about 350 of them, more than 350 in the e-commerce training academy, something called the e-commerce toolbox. It's offered right now $19. You can get it there. But so now we're at a stage where it's the end of the webinar, where we're going to move into the giveaway and Q&A. So for those who have attended right now and they need to leave because I want to make sure I stay on time, thank you very much for attending. I hope that you have gained a lot of knowledge from this session. If you have any additional questions, you know where to reach me. That's the email address, and you can view the recording in about 48 hours. So I want to tell you thank you. Enjoy the rest of the evening.